Day 10. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today is day 10 of the Cramus series of spooky stories, and tonight's story is going to be from Reddit No Sleep, and it is called There's Something Wicked Living in the Hills of Tennessee, and it is written by Lemonade Shotgun. So let's get started. It is without a doubt one of the most oft repeated stories in the Midwest. The Kissmeiser family. Those poor inbred bastards hiding somewhere in the rolling hills of Kentucky or some plot of land in Indiana or Ohio, sometimes even Tennessee or further, depending on how far the story has traveled. The family is described as equal parts dangerous and gentle, misunderstood and insane. It all depends on who is telling the story and what moral they intend to impart on takeaway. The tale tells of Amelia, the youngest, her head shorn and face misshapen, of Papa John, a hulking, stupid brute of a man, of Mama Amanda, willow thin, her face cruel and drooping unnaturally. Of course, one wonders where facts end and fiction begins. There were those who claimed to have seen them, those who claimed to have barely escaped with their life, those who painted the family as supernatural or freaks of nature. But no one bothered to uncover the truth, not until I started digging. Only then would the truth come to light. I first became privy to the story of the Kissmeisers at the ripe age of 14. It was a story designed to scare those of us huddled around a campfire in Chet Petrelli's backyard. Chet was hoping for two results: A, to scare us cropless, and B, to convince Patty Anderson to curl up closer to him. He only succeeded in the last part. It wasn't that I didn't believe in the Kissmeiser family. I did then. I did 4 years later. I do now. Yet, even at 14, I knew that urban legends were usually just facts expanding and snowballing into something larger than life. High school was a trying time for our friendships. Chet was in love with Patty, not in the true, pure matrimonial way, but in love nonetheless. A sort of hormonal cocktail of puppy love and barely restrained lust. Patty became a cheerleader. I, an outcast. Chet started playing football, and I still suspect it wasn't for love of the sport, but to impress and be closer to Patty. I didn't fit in their social circles. I didn't fit in with their friends. There were friends of ours, of course. Pamela, James, Kimberly, AJ, Matt. Chet and Patty and I were friends at the beginning, though. We were the original trio, the Three Musketeers. To them, I didn't exist anymore. While I grew up in Tennessee, there's little to do. Naturally, when there's an event, everyone puts forth 100% effort to forget the overwhelming claustrophobic boredom for a while. Understandable. If I had been a little more social, I would have done the same. It was homecoming 1979. Chet and Patty were surefire contenders for king and queen. Only Chet never showed up. I still remember that chilly October night when Patty called me sobbing. The first night I had heard from her since I was 17, and she and Chet told me to get lost so they could make love in his backseat. The freaking a-hole stood me up. That was it. No apology. No how had I been. No hello. Just barely intelligible screaming. I sat on my bed, staring at my posters I had tacked to the ceiling. I'm sure he had something going on. I managed to supply. Looking back, I should have been concerned or sympathetic, but I didn't know what either of them were up to. School was about to end. We were about to go out in the world, Chet and Patty together and me by myself. I didn't know either of them anymore. There was no way I could have known if him sending her up was out of character. He said 5, she wailed. We were going to hang out and leave together. I glanced at my alarm clock. It was 7. I debated hanging up the phone and saying, F it, but there was a glimmer of guilt in my heart. Did you call his mom? She was calmer now, her voice subdued and choked. She said he left at 4:30. He probably took that slut Sudie Peterson instead. I rolled my eyes and sighed. Do you want me to pick you up and see if we can find him at the school? She sniffled, then fell silent for a moment. Yeah. Patty lived in the middle of nowhere, a nice gated community up in the hills and forest. It was a 30-minute drive from Chet's and a 45-minute drive from mine. Only I didn't end up picking Patty up that night, because halfway through my trip, after I pulled off the small rural highway that ran through town and onto the winding road that led to her house, I was stopped by a police barricade. Sheriff Dobbins came around my driver's door. I rolled down the window. What's going on, Sheriff? He looked at me sadly. Just turn around, Jake. There's nothing you want to see. I sat there for a minute, then I nodded and put the car in reverse and pulled back onto the highway. What Sheriff Dobbins didn't know is I had already noticed what he didn't want me to see. Chet's car was wrapped around a tree, the entire front end smashed in and crumpled like a tin can. But that didn't explain why the driver's seat was empty. That didn't explain why the entire police force had showed up with no paramedics. And it certainly didn't explain the trail of blood leading from Chet's car into the woods. So, I don't know. Maybe there was like a ghostly experience. I've seen some YouTube videos of ghosts, like especially the one with the little kid and its head turned around perfectly. Could be one of those situations. I'm not real sure, but let me know what you guys think, and so like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.